Okay, class, I'm going to demonstrate again how we actually use that Excel file that you downloaded with your chapter or textbook project. So remember, you're going to download the start file, and then they're going to give you this Excel file called account. Now, I think there's some confusion as to what you're going to do with that account Excel file. Now, once you downloaded those files, this is essentially what you're going to have. The account spreadsheet. You do not need to open that file. Okay, we're going to use it to actually import some data, but we don't even need to click on it to open it. So here is my Pratt Last Associates database. So when you're working through the textbook project, you actually created this account manager table first. And when you created the account manager table, you went in, and if I go to design view here, you went in and you created all of these fields, set all of these data types, and you made certain properties according to certain fields, okay? And then you went in and you manually keyed in all 4 of these records, okay? So the first thing that you will want to do before you start trying to do the account table is to close this out, because I think there's some confusion about the account manager table and the account table. Now, the account table, instead of having you to manually create all the fields, the data types, and key in those 14 accounts that we're going to have, you are going to import the data from an Excel file. You're going to import that data from an Excel file. I'm going to walk you through how you go about doing that, okay? So we're going to click on external data. Now, in the other video that I have in Moodle, I go through and I actually demonstrate this exact same process. The first thing that I want to clarify again, because I think this is another point of confusion for folks, there is an import section. There is an export section. We are importing data. So we are not going to use any of this over here in this group. We are importing. Again, so instead of you typing those records in, all 14, one at a time, we're going to import that data from an Excel spreadsheet called account. So this is where in my video, I talked about how your textbook screenshot may differ right here in the import section, okay? On my laptop at home, this is what I get, and I have seen certain students over the course of several semesters have this window, okay? Some of you, again, under the import group, look at how I'm able to tell the different groups. Import, that's where we need to be. You might have Excel here. So if you have the same window or option that I'm showing you now on the screen, you would click New Data, From File, and choose Excel, okay? Some of you may have an Excel button right there under the import, and if you do, you just click on Excel. If you do not, then you do exactly what I'm showing you here. Your textbook screenshot, I believe it's on page 28, shows you an Excel button under the import. So it's going to be either of the two. So once I click Excel, this is the window that I'm going to get. Okay, so I have to first, again, notice that it tells me I am getting external data because, again, I was under the import. I'm going to click on the browse, and I'm going to go and find that account file that I have. I'm going to go and find it. Here it is. I put it in a DBA 110 folder because I have so many things in my downloads folder. So here is that account file, that account spreadsheet that you downloaded with your start files. And I'm going to choose to open. So I'm pretty much telling Access to go into this Excel spreadsheet and pull that data into my database. Okay. I'm going to choose import the source data into a new table in the current database, because this is where the account table is going to be created. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to kind of see the records that are going to come over. Okay. I believe your textbook may tell you to check the first row contains the column headings. And again, notice how when I uncheck it, it kind of bleeds the data and it makes the first row actually a part of the data, like one of the records. But when I check it, then that first row becomes the column heading. And that's how those things are specified. And you'll see too, when I check that, it actually kind of separates that first row and it looks more like what it's going to look like in the database. So from here, you're just going to follow the instructions that they give you in the textbook about how to walk through this wizard. So I'm going to click on next. It's going to give me some default things in reference to different field names, but I believe the book tells you to just click on next. Here, you're going to say, I'm going to choose my primary key, and it's going to be account number. That's going to be that unique key, and I'm going to choose next. It's going to tell me import to table. This is where you're going to give your table a name, and you're going to call it account. Okay, or accounts, either. I can't remember which one. Maybe it's accounts. And from here, I'm going to choose finish. And then I think the book tells you to click save import steps. I believe they tell you to put a description here. I'm just going to kind of skip over that. And I'm going to choose save. And I think because I've already done this, I'm going to stick a 2 on the end. You won't have to stick a 2 on the end. This, I kind of took a completed file and deleted something so I could demo this for you. So just ignore what I'm doing right here. You should just be able to save import. Look what happened. Now I have an accounts table that was added. And if I double click on it, voila, you get all 15 of those records. And you did not have to manually type those records in. It is a beautiful thing. Okay, so from here, the book tells you to come over and go to design view. And now they're going to tell you to make some changes to some of the data types, adjust some of the field properties. But again, that was the process of how you're going to use that account spreadsheet that you were given with your data file. Notice that I never once opened up that Excel spreadsheet. Okay, not once did I open it up. I just simply made sure that I went over here to external data. I made sure I was under that import group, and it works perfectly. Okay, I hope that this is helpful to you.